What is your can't eat at everybody's house horror story? I told my dad my sandwich tasted like fly spray at my grandma's house. He didn't believe me. 2 days later, I caught my grandma spraying the benches clean with the $2 fly spray you find at the cheap store. Dad figured it was safe to make sandwiches straight on the countertop because they looked clean. I dragged him over to see and he apologized and took my sister and me for fish and chips. For lunch, my grandma had made chicken soup. I raised my spoon for the first bite and noticed that the rice had character traits. I dropped my spoon and my parents and sister were horrified at my reaction. I pointed to my bowl and told them that the grains of rice had legs and little eyes. My gram starts yelling that I'm being picky. That's when my sister and parents all noticed the same thing. We were all like, oh my. But we tried to be gentle and laugh it off like, oh Gram, you must have accidentally picked up rice that you didn't realize this happened to. She swore up and down that she had just bought the rice, but all of us knew better. My mom stirred around the soup, took some out with a ladle, and sure enough the entire batch was full of bugs. I visited a friend's house who was living with his mother. She asked if I wanted a coffee and I said I would. Upon getting to the bottom of the cup and taking the last few gulps, I found there was a used Band-Aid stuck to the bottom. Never ate or drank there again. My mother-in-law fished around in the green bin, compost bin, with her bare hands, didn't wash them. Wiped her garbage juice hands on the tea towel, and then went back to prepping the salad. She also got horrifically offended if I didn't want to eat at her house. There were raisins in the potato salad. My first boyfriend's parents invited me for Thanksgiving. I came over a few days before Christmas, and all the same dirty dishes from Thanksgiving were still in the kitchen. I passed on coming over for Christmas dinner. I was babysitting a kid in a pretty dirty house. I was told to wake him up, supervise bathing, change clothes, and feed him. I was welcome to whatever was in the fridge. His house and his clothes were filthy. Then when I opened the cabinets, floods of roaches poured out. There were roaches in every open box and container. I took him back to my house and returned him later that day. I hope the boy ended up in a better situation. I found out CPS got involved shortly after. When I was a kid, Christmas Eve was always celebrated at Grandma's. I always got sick afterward. Like, Merry Christmas, you're going to puke now. It wasn't until I was grown up and helping her out in the last weeks of her life that I learned why she did not believe in expiration dates on anything. My grandma never actually washed the dishes. She'd rinse them off and tell us she'd wash them later, but Dad marked the soap bottle and checked a month later. Nothing was gone. When she was in the hospital, Mom used SOS pads to clean the glassware. Luckily, she didn't cook, so Dad would take her to get lunch while my brother and I would quickly wash all the dishes and reset the table. I'm a paramedic. I see people's nasty houses every damn day. If someone brings a homemade dish to thank us, it goes in the trash. If it's store-bought and sealed, we eat it. I see how y'all live, and it's nasty. 3 words, Jell-O with mayonnaise.